So to access publications of Australian standards, you can go to www.standards.org.au. So that's org, O-R-G. So this is the Standards Australia homepage. Now, Standards Australia are a not-for-profit organisation, and they have a memorandum of understanding with the government. And it's important that standards are designed without government intervention. So Standards Australia consult with Australian industry to keep refining standards and creating new standards. Now, they don't just consult with industry within Australia, but they have to meet the standards, which are international standards. And this is the website for the International Organisation for Standardization. And they'll have their international standard codes that start with ISO. You may have seen these around the workplace, either in documents or perhaps on certifications, usually hanging up in the office area. So you'll see here this assess management is about management systems requirements, and this is the international standard ISO 55001. And on the right hand side there's some other popular standards. I've just expanded the website here so you can see it more clearly on the YouTube. There's ISO 31000, which is risk management. So let's have a look at what Australian standards correspond to this international standard. Now, to do that, we'd go into search and buy a standard. I'm typing in risk, and that will take us to the SAI Global info store. So SAI Global acquired Standards Australia, but they still have two different trading names. So this is the section where you can actually purchase the publications. And because I typed in risk, you can see that there's an incredible amount. I'll just scroll down. And there's more and more pages. These are all risk-related standards. So here we can see two different standardizing codes. We have AS/NZS, and then with some numbers after it. The last numbers represent the year that the standard was created. The first number here, well, the first letters here stand for Australian standards. And then that's in correlation with New Zealand. So we've got Australian standards / New Zealand standards, and then the standard code numbers, and then the year that it was produced in. You see here, this is just a standard that applies to Australia. We've got Australian standard, the number, you can see the year that it was created in. But the most important thing is always to look at the code titles. So in the medical industry, in the health industry, that might be a very commonly known standard that would have to be included in their policies and procedures manual. In the manufacturing industry, safety of machinery, risk assessment. So they're going to be very industry specific, and considering there's over 400 Australian standards that are relevant to workplace health and safety, this is where it's very important that it's your industry or employer association that assists your business in making sure your business or your workplace has all of the relevant standards. Here's a website for the Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and occasionally they'll have policy advice on workplace health and safety, and that's from the employer perspective. So this is to help with making sure that you've accessed the right information. Union or professional association websites also can assist with information on standards and industry specific legislation. So this one's the Australian Manufacturing Workers Union. is it called? If your organisation has memberships to professional associations, this is one example here, Association for Manufacturing Excellence. They have consultants there who, you know, as part of your membership, it could be a bit of a user pays, it could be, you know, basic access to templates, but then if you have specific information like seeking assistance with all of your safety information, there may be a fee charged for that. But all industries have professional associations. Your organisation will have memberships to the relevant ones, and they are an excellent source to ensure that you have all of the required standards and that they're built into your policies and procedures.